Good morning. It is Sunday, November 21st. Got up today, got things ready to play D&D with my buddies. Really just getting the new webcam I got for my birthday installed on my computer, and like wired in, and then taking the old one and hooking up to the laptop that Ryan uses for his camera, because the built-in webcam on that is bad. I mean, not terrible, just glowy, like he's radiant, and so, you know, it's a little bit of the screen. You know, we each have our own boxes in this online filmed game. It's been fine, but I can make it better now, so I did. Otherwise, you know, I'm hoping that we're gonna game. I haven't heard from one of my players. He's usually available, so probably will be, though it is the weekend before a holiday, but it's probably gonna be fine. So hopefully we'll be playing D&D later, but it is Sunday morning, so to get things started, I am headed to church.
We praise you, we praise you, we praise you from the rising of the sun. We praise you, we praise you, we praise you to the setting of the same. We praise you, we praise you, we praise you.
And we had a message on Rahab and not disqualifying yourself for whatever you think is disqualifying you. God doesn't disqualify you for it, so don't do it to yourself. I got 50 minutes to get some food and get home, because theoretically we're gaming. I'm gonna try Chipotle. I love Chipotle. If it's a long line again, I might leave and go somewhere else. Well, I don't see the line in the window, at least, so it's not too bad. Literally nobody waiting in line when I walked in the door. Got in, got my burrito, got out, maybe 5 minutes. It's like, I always come right after church when I come, and sometimes it's a 30-minute wait. Today I'm in and out in no time. Wonderful. That gives me plenty of time to get home, eat, be ready to game when it's time to game with my friends. And I made it home. Got about 20 minutes before the technical start, so time to eat. And we have heard from Eric. Apparently he was out hunting early this morning, over the weekend or whatever, but he thinks he'll be able to make it in time. Which means that yes, we're probably gaming. At worst, we might start a little late, but a lot of times we talk a little bit before we game anyways. So, continuing to get ready after I eat, or maybe before, I need to get all the books that I need for the game from over here, and I set them on this little chair over here. Now, I'm thinking maybe the last time or two that I've done it, when I put them back, because at the end of the day I put them back, I should reorganize them. I should move the dice box down, because I have D&D books here, and I have a good chunk up here now too. And I've had organization. Bob never understands it. Core books are here. Then we get into sub-core books. Xanthar's and Tasha's are rules sub-core, you know, expansions. Mordenkainen's and Volo's are our monster expansions. Then we get into sort of setting ones, kind of in an order of just general use. You know, Van Richten's Ravenloft, Spore's Wild Amount, Fizban's just got put in there. I don't know where exactly it would belong with that. And then I have a DM screen to kind of divide things as we're going into more setting specific. Eberron is a very different setting than most D&D. It's almost steampunk. Sword Coast is rules light and not as well balanced as everything else. The magic books, and then we get into our couple of adventures, most of which are also up here, and our extra players book, other products. So that's how they've been organized for ages. I mean, it used to be more settings down here because there was more space, but at this point they're running up against here, and I mean, I have the DM screens and also the maps or whatever that come with the books over here. But I'm like, if I move, all the settings have kind of slowly, as more other books have gotten moved up. I only have, or rather all the adventures, like 2 that fall in that category left to go up here before I'm just out of space. So I'm like, I should move things. I mean, it's going to take a big chunk here. So, you know, Bob's never been able to figure out what my organization structure has been, and I haven't bothered to teach him because I plan to change it, and when I do, I think I'm going to swap it so it starts from this end and goes that way instead of the other way. I don't want to change it, or teach him it and then change it, because then he's going to say, no, that's not how it goes, and he'll change it back. So rather than button heads with him, I've just told him, I'll show you eventually. Anyways, so I now have closer to 15 minutes to eat and be ready. I'm going to do that. And good evening. We started gaming around 12:30. It's our start time. And it is now 7. We finished like an hour ago. But it took me about an hour to write out all the notes, everything I need, get all that down. Because this is like one of the things about this campaign specifically is it's 0 prep. I did a lot of prep before the game started, and now I have not done any prep work between sessions other than when we meet to game. I look over my notes from last session, and Ryan reads his notes from the last session. That's the prep work I do. Just, what happened last time? Okay. So, I do have to take good notes as I go, and a lot of those are time spent after the fact. But I got those done. Just takes a while, so I always tell them no prep work, but I do have some wrap-up work each time. But I'll get that put away, and I think I am. I'm going to put away the books, and I'm going to reorganize them. I'm going to take this and put it down here, then reorganize the books on the shelf. I think that'll be nice. I finished rearranging the bookshelf. So all the D&D books are here. So the ones off of here are gone. I filled in the space from stuff over here with some extra stuff that was up there. It's not probably where the best spot for it, but whatever. It keeps the shelf full for now. Because I wanted to move some of the stuff over here, because I got D&D books. So, core books. DM screen for divider. Then, secondary books, which includes the rules expansions and like the main monster expansion books. DM screen for divider. Then we go into settings. Ravenloft, Waldemount, the Magic the Gathering settings, Eberron, DM screen that paired with Eberron, the Sword Coast Adventurers Guide, and the Elemental Evil Player's Companion lead us right into adventure paths. And I'm missing a lot of the early adventure paths. I guess I have more of them later on. And after each one that I own the DM screen for, I have it slotted in there. And after the adventure paths is the Acquisitions Incorporated book, because I don't like it. My nice quality player's handbook, because I have a good one and one that's falling apart. The extra books that I actually use. Strongholds and Followers and Tal'Dorei campaign setting I use in the game that are 5th edition books that I use in the game that I ran today, my New Divines game. Deities and Demigods is a 3rd edition book, but I use it in my New Divines campaign, so it gets to stay with the 5th edition books instead of having to go over to that shelf there. Then I got those packets that have the screens as a divider, all the whatever maps or things that come with it, and then other 5th edition books. Tome of Beasts, which is like monster expansion, all the Adventures in Middle-earth stuff that I have, and then a couple of books I'd gotten off Kickstarter that I'm not totally fond of, but they are designed for 5e, so with the 5e products they remain. But yeah, and then dice and all that stuff is down there. Got the shelf reorganized. And now I can teach it to Bob. So that, because I mean, on Monday evenings, he's the one that runs the game. So, maybe make it easier for him. Otherwise, got another couple hours in my evening, and then on to the work week. So I'm going to try and relax, be ready for it. Though it is a short work week. And I will say, from last night, it was quite nice to have a waterbed that I don't feel like is going to leak beneath me. It also was kind of weird getting used to it again, because it's been a very slow leak, but it's been leaking for a couple of weeks. So it had gotten lower than it ought to be. So starting with it at a good level again, I was like, oh yeah, this does feel different. It had slowly changed. I was like, oh, that's nice. Oh well. Yeah, so I'm gonna relax for the last bit of my evening. We'll call it a day there. Thank you for joining me and joining me as my journey continues. Bye.